those of you that don't know me, I'm Mr. Shanaki. We're here for our guest speaker. Today we have Mr. O'Bannon, correct? Yes. He's going to share some knowledge in terms of his company. It has to do with technology and web development and all sorts of things. I ask to take your earbuds out as we're going along. Think of those questions that you might have that pertains to his business, his industry, and again, this is just a person outside the real world that's come to give their time. So certainly just think of those questions that pertain to your situation, your interest, and I'm sure he'll be happy to answer those. But I will turn the floor over to him. We got about half an hour. I'll let him introduce, and it's all yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Those who are sitting in the back, can you guys come up front closer so we can see you?
We got a small group. Let's be intimate. Come on up, guys.
Come on up closer. It's okay. I won't bite. How many of you plan to do something after high school? What do you plan on doing? What do you guys plan on doing after high school?
Go to the league.
Go to the league. To the league? Yeah. Which league? Football? Yeah. You any good? I don't think you can take me on, but that's okay. I won't hurt you. I'm just playing. Anyway, I used to play football, but my knees go out, so that's how I live. How many of you want to be something when you grow up? How many of you thought about college? How many of you thought about business? Who'd like to have their own business? Anyone ever thought about that? Okay. What does it mean to have your business? What kind of business would you like to have? Huh? You're not sure yet, but why have a business? Huh? To make money, okay? Who else raises their hand to have a business? Who else wants to have a business? Yes. What kind of business do you want to have?
Socks.
You want to sell socks?
Yeah.
You want to make socks?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And why the sock business? You like socks? Okay. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to have a business? Okay. Why are there businesses out there today? Who can tell me? Who can tell me why there are businesses out there today? Why do we need business? Does anyone know? Yes, sir. To get things that you want. How many of you are hungry this morning? If you didn't eat at home, you ate somewhere, right? You went to a place of business. How many of you bought something recently? How many of you have technology in your hand? Anyone have an iPhone or Samsung or anything like that? How many of you have all that technology at home? Well, where did that technology come from? Huh? From companies and businesses. Now, how many of you like playing video games? Okay, who's really good at it? Okay, so it's good to play the games, but wouldn't it be nice to make the games? Yeah. Who makes the money? The people that play the games or the people that make the games? Okay, so clothing. Ladies, you like fashion, right? Ladies, you like hair and all the other stuff like that, accessories. Who makes the accessories? Businesses, right? So the thing is, business is always going to be around here. And one thing I wanted to talk to you about today is kind of like a little bit about my story and why I'm in business and why I'm doing the things that I want to do. First of all, my name is Christopher O'Bannon. Okay, I was born in Chicago, Illinois. I grew up in Maryland, Washington, D.C. area. I was in the Air Force, and I got a chance to fly F-16s. I was in air traffic control when I was in the Air Force. And also, I played basketball over in Spain in the Spanish Pro League for 3 years. I was pretty good. I come from a good line of pedigree. My dad is Larry O'Bannon, and he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame here in Indiana with the Crispus Atlas. So in 1951, his class was the class that went in that movie called Hoosiers. That was the actual team, African-American team that played in Hoosiers, which was a fictitious, show. But the important thing was basketball was in my family's blood. Now, the only thing about that, I didn't have a dad growing up. I didn't know my dad until I was about 6 years old. And so what happened is that I learned sports and I learned working hard from my mother. Now, my mother taught me one thing. If you want some money, you're going to have to work. So I got a paper route at age 10. Paper route, you guys know what that is? It sounds familiar, right? You know how they put the papers out and sling them out? Well, I made about $4 a week selling papers back in 1970. Then I started working in a liquor store, unpacking the crates and things like that. And then I went to work at a loading dock, unloading trucks. And the reason why I'm telling you that story is that sometimes you grow up and you don't have the things that you need. Has that ever happened to you? You guys ever like, Mama, why can't we have this? Or Daddy, why can't we have that? Well, I was told a long time ago, if you want something, go get it. So then I started mowing lawns. You guys know what mowing lawns do? So imagine if you want to have a business today. I just talked to over at Northwest High School the other day. If 3 guys got together with 3 lawnmowers and you went out cutting lawns, and let's say you can cut 6 lawns a day, charging, let's say, $30 a lawn, how much would you make in a day? 6 lawns times 30. How much would you make in a day? $180. Who would like $180 every day? Divided by 3, you guys make $60 a day. If you made $60 a day for 5 days, how much money do you have? $60 a day times 5. How much did you make in a week? $300. If you made $300 a week times 4 weeks, how much money do you have? $1,200. Who would like to have $1,200 this month in their pocket? And we're just talking about mowing lawns, right? Why am I telling you that? Because now you are in a business mindset because you're actually doing work for dollars. Well, Mr. O'Banion, why are you telling me this? Well, sometimes you can go to school, you get the education, you get your degrees, but you might just have a job. And it might not pay you all the money that you want, but people who have businesses have choices and they can do whatever they want. They can make as much money as they want. That's why people are in business. So let me tell you about WebSource International. Who was born after 2000? Anybody in here? Everybody? Okay, do you know in 2000 I started my company, that was 17 years ago. And a gentleman came to me in Chicago and said, Mr. O'Banion, I know you're very good in business, you've been doing very well, but I want you to open up an office developing websites for businesses. Now, why am I telling you this? 8 out of 10 businesses did not have websites. Is that a good market? Nobody has websites. Let's break it down. Nobody has an iPhone and you just developed the iPhone. Are you going to make money? Remember when the iPhone came out? Nobody had it, right? And then everybody wanted it. Then the Samsung came out. Nobody had it, right? And then people wanted it. Just think if you were the person that developed that. Who would be making money? You would, right? So what happened is, when I started developing websites, businesses wanted to sell their products or services on the internet. Well, what happened from there, they also wanted to have the ability to have what's called e-commerce. You guys know what e-commerce is? Do you ever buy anything online? Who's bought something online before? Or your parents bought something? That's called e-commerce. You're actually going online and you're doing a transaction to pay. That's called e-commerce. So a natural fit for websites was that I started building websites and then I did e-commerce for them. The next thing that we did, we started putting in what's called point of sale systems. Have you guys ever gone and they have the register, you know, where they check out and they touch the buttons and everything like that? That's called a POS system, a point of sale system. You know what that does for you? It allows you to put all your inventory in and people can buy your products and services. Who's eating at fast food place? And what do? Y'all walk in there, yeah, let me get number 3 and number whatever. They go, boop, 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 boop. And all of a sudden they say it's $11, right? And you give them the money. So when I put in a point of sale system for a business, every time that they do a transaction, I get paid. You guys like that? Every time a transaction's done, you can get paid. Well, it only pays me about a nickel, but just think of all the businesses and all the nickels that come in. The next thing that happened is that people wanted to have a merchant account, which means they could take credit cards. Do any of you guys have a credit or debit card yet? Not yet, right? Or maybe a PayPal card? Well, the reason that those are put in place is that that makes carrying money obsolete. I don't have any money in my pocket, but I've got my cards. And on my cards, I can buy whatever I want. The next thing, people wanted to have mobile apps. Who knows what a mobile app is? What's an app? What does an app allow you to do? Huh? What can you do with an app? Can I order some pizza right now on an app? Can I do my Final Four on an app? Can I call somebody through an app, or can I, do videos and everything through an app? Why am I telling you this? Because an app just makes it so easy for somebody to just touch their phone and they can be connected to anything they want, just like that. Instead of going online, www, or trying to dial something on the phone, it's all embedded within the app to do something. That's something that's important for you. Then the next thing that happened is video surveillance technology. Are there cameras in the school? You guys know what cameras do? What do? They surveil. And what do they surveil? just about any and everything, right? So what's the biggest concerns for most businesses today? They don't want somebody to what? Steal from them or damage their property or anything like that. So we put in video surveillance technology. Well, Mr. O'Banion, you do all those different things. How do you do that? One customer at a time. Just think of this. If you could have developed the iPhone, what came after the iPhone? The iPad, well, it was the iPod, right? The iPod, and then it was the, iPad, and then now it's, all the other products that go along with that. Did Apple know what they were doing? Then Samsung came out with all their different tablets and all their different things, and then what was the big, who was the guy that came up with the earphones that made all that money? You guys remember, what was the earphones called? You guys remember what that was called? Huh? Dre. So what was Beats by Dre? Who had Beats by Dre? Okay, they were a couple $100, weren't they? And you know what? He made money from that because that was a product to go along with the iPhone or with the Samsung. So the point what I'm getting at is that in business, you have to understand how all these different things work. Well, Mr. O'Banion, that's nice. You've done well, 17 years, that's great and everything like that. But what does that mean for me? Well, for the last 2 years, I've been working with Pike High School, and I had a couple of interns, 2 of them last year, and I have 1 this year, who's been working with me since the beginning of the school year. The intern, his name is Ethan Aguilar, and Ethan is a senior, and he's been able to work with me on building websites. So, can we pull up some of the websites? I'm just going to give you guys an idea. Let's go to, let's do Tracy Laswell Photography. Let's do that one. Okay. Now, with this is a website that one of your students built with my training. You guys understand that? So, if you see it's home, about us, there's weddings, they can book online. And if you scroll down on the right-hand side, you'll see more things that they do. And this is your student here at Pike putting his spin on how this should look. I gave him the freedom to go ahead and do this. Now, the client loved the website, the way it was designed and everything like that. But the important thing, you can scroll back up. Let's go to where it says weddings. And you can do wedding, yeah, that's fine. And then what this is going to show, and you scroll down, these are all, it's going to be a little slideshow, but these are going to be different photos from weddings that we put in as a slideshow. Now, if anyone's getting married and they go online and they go to this photographer's website, do you think this looks pretty good? Would you like this photographer maybe to work for you? So what happens is, now we put all this in place to showcase how good the photographer is. Okay? Let's look at another website. Let's do the Indianapolis All-Stars. Now that's an ABA basketball team, and I just happen to be the general manager for the team. But the Indianapolis All-Stars, you can scroll down a little bit. These are athletes who, some play college ball, some of them try to make it to the NBA, but they didn't. So, how many of you guys remember Yogi Ferrell? You guys remember Yogi? Yogi, do you know what team he plays for right now? Huh? Denver? No. Oh yeah, Dallas. He plays with Dallas. Now, he barely made it to the NBA, even though he was a good player at IU. Do you know what his salary is? If you go to ESPN, look at the roster, he's making $207,000 a year playing for the Mavericks. Now, remember the millions? No, there's other people in the Mavericks making 15, 20 million. Dirk Nowitzki's making 25 million. But what I'm getting at is, most players don't make it to the NBA, but they play in the ABA. So that's showing again that we play, and a lot of the players who played college ball in Kentucky or played at IU or played at Butler or played at other places, a lot of them play in our league, and they're very good players. So we just lost in the playoffs to Kentucky, and we finished our season, I think it was 14-5 was our record. We were trying to go into the ABA playoffs. But Ethan built the website. If you scroll down a little further, and we got videos in here. We beat the top ranked team in the ABA, and we got video footage for that too. but this just gives you an idea of some of the technology when we put things together. Your student from Pike High School was instrumental in building this website. Let's take a look at another one. There's another, let's look at RCE Indy. Now, RCE Indy is a lawn care and landscaping business over on Zionsville Road. Have you guys seen those trucks before? You'll see probably a sign go by. But they do lawn care, they do residential, they do carpet cleaning, they also do maintenance, they do general contracting, and this is the website that we had put together and built for them. So the reason why I'm showing you all this is that in building websites, we charge the client money to build this. So if you were building websites, imagine making 25% to up to 50% of what we charge the client just for building the website. So let's say we charge the client $2,000. What's 25% of 2,000? Anybody know? 25%. What's 1/4 of 2,000? $500. So what if you made $500 just for building that? Who could use $500? Not bad, huh? What if you made 50% of 2,000? How much is that? What's half of 2,000? $1,000. So what if you were able to make $1,000 just for building a website like that? How would you feel? Pretty good, right? Because you'd have money. Would you stop with that one customer? No, you'd help with more. So these are the type of things that we do when we build websites. Let's take a look at another one. Let's look at life insurance for diabetics. Now, the reason why we built this website is that there's a big need for people who have diabetes to get insurance, but they can't get insurance because they're sick. You guys understand that? So there's insurance companies now that say, you know what, we know you're sick, but we need to provide life insurance to bury you or whatever has to be done. So Ethan built this website, he found the images, we got the captions from the company, and you can scroll down a little bit. And this basically is just, people can learn about their products, who they are, and also they can contact them for whatever type of service. It's a basic website, but your student from Pike High School built this website for this client. Why am I sharing that? Because he started with me at the beginning of the year, and he's built probably close to about 10 or 11 websites since the beginning of the year. Not knowing anything, but now he understands how to do this. So when he graduates high school this year, guess what he wants to do? Get an office down the hall from me, building websites and building apps. He's in business for himself, but he's still going to go to college. You guys understand that? Okay, let's look at something else. All right, let's look at partner link staffing. Let's go to that website. Okay, do.net, I'm sorry. I must have at the very top, I'm sorry. I must have made a mistake. There we go. Okay, now this is a company that provides jobs. So for example, if people are looking for jobs, if you scroll through this, people can search for jobs, they can update their resume, they can view featured jobs. So this is a job placement company to help people find work. Now the unique thing about this company versus other staffing companies is that they specifically deal with people who've been in trouble with the law. Do you guys know anybody that's been arrested? Anybody that has trouble maybe getting a job? Maybe they drinking and driving, or they did something, or they served time. We want them to be able to work and be back in the marketplace. So Partner Link Staffing basically helps these people who have some issues get back on their feet so they can be good in the workplace. I think that's a great thing because there are a lot of people who made mistakes. But do we hold it against them? And if we can't get them employed, what are they going to do? Be back out in the streets doing other things, right? So Ethan helped work on this website as well. As you can see, it's a different style, a little unique. But the important thing is that now we're trying to show you his work that he did during the course of the school year. Okay. Now, how does all this make sense? Well, I built over 4,000 websites in the last 17 years. And that basically means that a customer, when he gets a website, they also want other services. So how many of you would like to have a customer base of 1,000 people? Just coming to you for whatever. socks. If they came to you for socks, would you be happy? Because you can sell them a bunch of socks, right? Okay. And what if some of you want to play sports or some of you want to do other things? If you think about being in business, there's nothing wrong with it. People who are in business or business owners make a lot more than people who work for them. Is that true? So why not do that? How many people live in the Indianapolis area? Does anybody know? How many people live in Indianapolis and the suburbs and everything around here? There's 3.7 million people. How many businesses are in the Indianapolis area? There's about 500,000 businesses. So guess what? Of those millions of people that work, they work for these 500,000 companies. Who makes the most money, the owners or the workers? So are there 500 million business owners smarter than you? Think about it. Now I moved down here 7 years ago from Chicago looking for opportunity, and guess what I did? I started helping clients every single day, meeting them, building a relationship, and I average about 10 clients a month, and over the course of the year, 120. So in 7 years, I got about 800 customers since I've been working with my company here in Indianapolis. That makes a big difference because now I can service them, but I still got 900 customers in Chicago. That's the big thing of how you can do business with technology. Okay. Now, my office, you guys know where Keystone Crossing is? Who knows where Benihana is? Or the Apple Store? Who knows where the Apple Store is? You know that big tall glass building over there by the Sheraton? I'm in that big tower up on the 13th floor. If you came in my office, you'd look out, you're like, whoa, I like it up there. And when Ethan comes in, he feels good. He has a little pep in his step when he walks in. He's like, hey, you know, he says hi to people. He takes his seat at his desk, looks out the window, and he can see the big skyline of everything. That's what I want young kids to understand what they can do. Okay? Any questions right now? Okay, you guys ready for the test? Okay, I'm gonna put you to work. Okay, what's my name? Huh? Christopher O'Banion. Okay. Where am I from? Chicago. When did I start my company? 1970? No. 2000? Okay, 2000. Why did I start my company? Huh? More money? Money's good, yeah. But somebody came to me with the idea of developing websites and told me that 8 out of 10 businesses didn't have them. Okay, when I started building websites, what was the next thing that I tried to add to it? Because if you have a website and you want to sell your products and service, what's that called? You guys remember? E-commerce. What's e-commerce? Selling your products and services online. Okay. What are some other technologies that we work with? What else do I do? Huh? Surveillance cameras. Why do we need surveillance cameras? Okay, so we can see what's going on. How many of you guys have cameras at your home? Huh? It makes a difference, doesn't it? They know when you're coming home and when you're not, who you're coming home with, right? But the other thing is that, you know, security. There's a lot of crazy things that are happening. Okay, what's another thing that we do? If we build a website, a lot of times people want to have something called a what? An app, okay? So let's go back to web source. I'm an Apple developer. Who guys know what Apple developers do? We build apps for Apple, okay? What's a Google Play developer? They build apps for what? Google Play. So I'm also an Amazon developer, so I build apps for Amazon too. Do you know what that does for you if you learn how to become a developer? It opens a lot of doors, and you know who most of the developers are? They're your age range. They're geeks like you. I'm not a geek. Yeah, you are. You're smarter than a lot of older people. You know how to do things with technology than what we do. So that gives you an opportunity to do that. Another thing is, I didn't touch on a lot, but graphic design. You guys know what graphic design is? Huh? Who likes to draw? Who likes to art? Anybody? Anyone creative here? Nobody? Okay. But if you start a business, somebody has to make your sign, right? Somebody has to make graphics for you. How many of you ever seen a flyer for an event or a party or something like that? Okay, a graphic designer created that. That's great money in graphic design if you learn how to create all these banners or logos or anything like that. Those are things that make a huge difference, you know, for businesses. Okay. All right, so with the quiz, you guys got 7 out of 8. Okay, got 2 more questions to ask you. The next question is, if you get your education, because I have an executive MBA, I got my bachelor's in business too, what can you do with that education? What could you do once you get your degree? What could you do? Like what? Work in a lot of places. Now, what could you do if you start a business? Huh? I hear. Make money, right? So, if you get your education and you start a business, what do you think can happen? Great things, right? Now, do you guys know who Bill Gates is? Okay. Do you know, does he have a degree? Huh? But what did he do? He hired people who were what? Smarter than him to work for him. Isn't that good? So you can have a degree and that's fine, but sometimes maybe you might not need it because of the field that you're working in. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell some of the young ladies, I met with a client and we're building a website called Cosmetic Geeks. And you know what they're doing? You girls know what MAC is, right? The MAC store? What's the MAC store? You guys don't know. Huh? Makeup. Okay? So, with Cosmetic Geeks, they're showing before makeup and after makeup pictures, before getting hair done right and after getting hair done right, and then the different product lines to make a woman look beautiful. How much do women pay for makeup? I'll say it one more time. A lot. They pay a lot. Why? Okay? Guys, do we pay a lot for makeup? If you have a girlfriend, you might know I'm just playing. But no, we don't. We don't understand that. But to women, makeup, hair, accessories, clothing is everything. Isn't that true, ladies? Would you come in here looking tore up? But fellas walking in, they looking like got hit by a couple of trucks and buses, but they're still guys, right? But the reason I'm sharing that is that website I'm building for that client, she's going to be making, thousands of dollars, every week, just because women want makeup and hair. So, and she's only 23 years old. You guys understand that? So these are the things where some of these opportunities are here to help. Okay? All right. Any other questions?
We got about 2 minutes left.
Any questions? You guys were a great group, weren't you? Who's awake now? Okay. Who could benefit from some of the information that I shared? Can this help anyone today? Who didn't it help? Looks like it helped everybody. Okay. I thank you for your time and your opportunity. I'm always delighted to come back here to Pike and talk to the students. If there's anything else you guys need, Business Online, WebSource International, and I'm looking for interns for next year to be part. Yes, sir.
What do you make?
Pardon me?
Yes, how much you make?
How much do I make? 6 figures. I just did my taxes. My goal this year is probably to do about $250,000.
Like a year or a month?
A year. My best month was about $30,000 a month. Is that pretty good? My wife thinks so. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Let's give Mr. O'Bannon a round of applause. Thank you for coming.